Okay, now moving on to exclusion-based explanations for the persistence and existence of poverty, those that very much take the social democratic line. Unlike the dependency base, it flips it on its head and says it is the system, it is the capitalist system in which we live that excludes specifically those that are unable then to create wealth. And it is very much not the fault of the individual, but the system that has failed them in this way. They are prevented through certain characteristics from taking part in the economy. And so we have the idea of their disconnect, the lack of access to the power levers, leaves them excluded in the labour market. We're talking about the very young, the very old, women and ethnic groups that are discriminated against. And it points out that this powerlessness and poverty go hand in hand. And this is the relationship and not the relationship between the individual, and that, in fact, that the instability of the system is because people do not buy into that level of thing, and that most people are innocent victims of the system, and this is how we're excluded. Field develops this further as an idea by saying that these groups, as described, are denied full citizenship, that they are excluded from the rights that other individuals have, that they have the right to vote, in the sense when we think of America, and if you're in different ethnic minorities from the mainstream, it is harder for you to vote in some cases. We look at government policy, which has, whether Labour or Conservative or internationally, the gap between rich and poor has been exponentially growing over the years. And this has also left those in the bottom tiers behind. So also the media and the portrayal and the stigmatization even of the poor we see running in the press. The other forms of exclusion-based theory take a more directly Marxist line, and they point out that poverty is inevitable in a capitalist system, and in fact helps the ruling class in a number of ways. If nothing else, what it does is it has this idea of the poor as a warning, the poor as something to be aware of in terms of your social position. If you're not poor, you should perhaps look to the start line behind you of those further behind, rather than worrying about those that are ahead. It's a warning that if you do not behave like good proletarians, that you are likely to have this taken away. It allows the ruling class to slip by unseen.